Join me. Together we can rule the galaxy far from sun.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
Hello there, Space Wizards, Plastic Spacemen, and Rebel Princesses. This is Todd Hoffman and Trent Hoffman, and you're listening to Big T and Little T, a Star Wars podcast. Welcome to episode 126. Today we're discussing the Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Unfortunately, Little T couldn't join me today, but he is here in Christmas spirit. Please catch us out on Twitch, twitch.tv/Big T Little T. We're playing a couple games there. We got Gotham Knights. We're playing a little Fortnite. I just started Callisto Protocol, which is a little too scary for the kiddos, but yeah, I'm really enjoying that so far. But big Fortnite thing happened this weekend. Fracture, it was the Fortnite Fracture, so a new chapter was starting, and they kind of made it a big deal, and it was actually this huge event on Saturday afternoon, and then they had this event, and we got to watch it, and then you do there's a little bit of gameplay there, but then the servers were down, and everybody was freaking out, but a new map came up today on Sunday, and so Trent and I have been playing. It's been a lot of fun checking out the new map. So yeah, that's what's happened in Fortnite. So check that out. Obviously new skins. One of the cool skins that is going to be for this chapter is the Doomslayer from Doom. Very, very good classic game back in the 90s, and kind of making a little resurgent here in the last couple years with some new releases. But yeah, so did that. Trying to think of else what happened this weekend. Did a troop, so finally got back in the old plastic. I'm working on my heavy weapons trooper, and so this is my first time kicking the tires and doing a troop for the first time in the backpack and everything. It was a lot of fun. So it's at a local library in the south suburbs here of Chicago, and got to support the library and get kids to read and adults to read and all that fun stuff. And they did a really good job. They had like this cool like beanbag toss that was like Sarlacc pits, and they had like these cutouts that was like for selfies and stuff like that. And then they had this really cool like Find Grogu room that was like dark and had trees, and even had like little lava lamps that looked like the eggs from the Mando episode. Yeah, they did a really good job. It was a lot of fun. We had quite a bit of troops out there, and it was a lot of fun to get out there and support the local library. So yeah, did that this weekend. Unfortunately, little E got strep throat, so that's been kind of taking up the weekend and trying to get her back to health, and luckily no one else is sick. But these are things and happenings of what's going on. But let's dive right into it. Let's talk about this holiday special. So usually holiday special from a Star Wars fan's perspective is let's just say it leaves a little bit to desire, and I don't think we technically have covered that here on Big T Little T. I know in WSTR land we've talked about it before, but Guardians of the Galaxy is kind of it's a pretty interesting cast of characters, obviously, and a little bit, I would say, if you're looking at the MCU, it's a little bit of the misfits of the MCU, but it's fun. It's super fun. I really enjoyed the first two movies, and looking forward to Volume 3, which the trailer just dropped. Yeah, we got all kinds of trailers that just dropped on, what was that, Thursday? We got the new Indie trailer. We got the new Guardians trailer, the Transformers trailer. All these trailers dropped. Brazilian Comic-Con was going on. There was some or some news that came out that said, hey, trailers are dropping for, some kind of elite Disney stockholder thing. And then like the next day at Brazilian Comic-Con, they dropped all these, which is great. I think it's awesome. I love it when they do those kind of debuts and, help support a little bit more international. It doesn't have to always be in the States. So yeah, Star Wars Holiday Special came out in 1978, and it didn't go out well to many fans. And it was like the first Star Wars TV, if you can believe that. But now this holiday special definitely got a different vibe. It's pretty cool. So it's directed and written by James Gunn. Now James Gunn, now this is interesting too. Recently news has come out, or is official. He's moving over to DC space. So Guardians of the Galaxy has always been his little baby. And so there's a little bit, so he's done the holiday special and then volume 3. And volume 3 is really his last hurrah in the MCU and the Marvel universe. And so pretty interesting. But really what it is that the Guardians of the Galaxy, they are searching for a present for Peter Quill or Star-Lord. And so that is really the premise of this whole thing. And so we got the whole group is back. And so it's pretty fun and honestly really well. I mean, I was surprised as the production quality. Like, this is really good. I mean, like, there's a lot that it's not terribly long, which is fine, but I really I felt like it captured the essence of the holiday spirit, if you will. So we have basically it opens up with like Rocket and Cosmo talking, and I just think that's funny. And they're trying to discuss Kraglin or Kraglin is one of the uh, guardians that tells the story about Yandu, and they have this cartoon which is awesome if you're familiar again with the Star Wars holiday special. There's a couple cartoons in there, but it starts out with a cartoon about how Yandu did not like when Peter and Kraglin did Christmas, and it kind of like ruined Christmas for them, and Peter hasn't really had a Christmas in a long time. And so they kind of talk about like, hey, what's something that that Peter just really likes? And they're all like, Kevin Bacon. So the real Kevin Bacon in the real world is what they're trying to go after. And so we have this kind of like Mantis and Drax decide to go on this mission. They park and go and fly to Hollywood, LA, Hollywood, Los Angeles, and they coming in and everybody's like pointing to the sky, and they're like, she's like, you put in the cloaking device. He's like, yeah. And so he didn't, but everybody got to see them. And then they kind of land and by the Hollywood sign. And then they go down to the like Chinese theater, the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And as you know, there's many cosplayers out there that dress up like that. And so there's this kind of cool little bit where they do photo ops and they beat up. There's a GoBot scene where Drax is like, you killed one of my family members or something, and he beats up this GoBot. It's great. It's fantastic. But yeah, there's a lot of these kind of cool little selfies with other Marvel characters and stuff like that. It's super fun. So they arrive at Kevin Bacon's house. Kevin Bacon's like, yo, you can't come here. You can't do this. I'm not interested. And then Drax and Mantis break in. They steal a candy cane, a little elf man. During the pursuit, Drax loses the little elf man, and that will play into later. And then they capture Kevin Bacon using Mantis's kind of telekinesis or kinetic ability to kind of calm Kevin Bacon. Like, everything's great. Come on in. So they take Kevin Bacon from there. Now, meanwhile, back at like the home base here, back at where the Ravagers are and everything, there's a first little bit where there's like this band, and the band is playing the song talking about how Christmas is on Earth. And it's like, they got it all wrong. It's got it all wrong. But Peter's like, no, that's not how it is. And then later, after this kind of Kevin Bacon bit, they kind of go back. And there's a great Smashing Pumpkins song in there. Always James Gunn's got really a good taste of music, or at least his movies have a great taste of music. I think he has, Peacemaker was kind of the same thing. There was some really great music in this. And I think James Gunn just got an ear for music. And so we got this great Christmas time Smashing Pumpkins song. It's great. And Peter kind of is walking around and everything's quiet. Then they throw on the lights and they throw on some snow. And Peter has this like amazing like little Christmas thing. It's great. And then they debut Kevin Bacon and Peter's like, oh my gosh, what have you done? And they kidnap Kevin Bacon and Star-Lord's like, oh my gosh, can you like not keep him like crazy or like Mantis to be under his control? And so they get out of it, but then he's like, hey man, I'll rectify this. Sorry about this. They don't know what they're doing. And so but then like there's a whole Kevin Bacon sings and it's great. And we have like uh, 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 Groot, like he's in his teenage years and he's kind of chunky. He's looking cool. He's getting kind of bigger, and he's just having fun and having a great time to do a bunch of songs, and it's great. And everybody like exchanges presents, and Groot makes these like little wood carvings for everybody, which is fantastic. And then so they kind of have this little bit where at the end Peter's like, well, I'm sorry that we kind of ruined Christmas again. He's like, no, it's good. And one of the things they kind of go back to is that that Yandu, they do the cartoon again, and Yandu sees the trash can with the Christmas tree and the presents, and he opens up the present that Peter had for him, and it's like this little alien guy. It's like super cool. It's like, oh my gosh, awesome. And then Peter gives, or Yandu, then when Peter is sleeping, he wakes up and Yandu gives him these blasters that we know Peter or Star-Lord has used. And it's like, oh, that's super cool. And so like Christmas actually wasn't ruined. It's actually something that they enjoyed. And then you see Yandu kind of put on the little alien guy that Peter made on the ship, and they kind of go into hyperspace. Yay! There's also a little bit here too when they're exchanging presents that Mantis grabbed the little elf man that Drax lost and gave it to him, and he was so excited. So there's cool kind of like holiday cheer going on with all the different presents and exchanges, and kind of getting into this kind of earthly Christmas. Um, yeah, it's just kind of really cool. Uh, and then there's this nice little kind of story bit that Mantis confides in Peter and says that Quill, like Peter, is her half sister after refusing to tell him the truth. He basically says because they have the same dad, his father Ego, and Mantis is born from Ego, and therefore they are half sister, half brother. And so Peter's super happy about that. Big old hug, and that's pretty much how the episode finishes. It's great. I mean, it's there's this great, the set direction is so cool because like there's all these Christmas lights that they do as Peter kind of walks up into this Ravager area. And it's really well done. I think it's real. I couldn't tell if this is all CGI or what, but I'm pretty sure this is all real. And it's great. It's fantastic. I really enjoyed just seeing that set production and all that they did to kind of bring the Christmas cheer in. So yeah, it was super fun. I really enjoyed it, and like the whole crew's back. Yeah, it was just great to see everybody reprise their roles, and yeah, it was just fun seeing them hang out and do this kind of fun little holiday special. And I thought it was cool too, like I said, with the cartoon. It was just kind of cool to see that little bit play in. Um, Not that that's like a mandatory thing, but I kind of want to think in a weird kind of way that that was like a little nod to the Star Wars holiday special. Maybe that's in my own headcanon, but whatever. I think it's super cool. I really enjoyed that little bit. Um, Okay, so there you have it. The Star Wars holiday, or not, the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special was really good. I would give it like 4.5 stars or 4.5 Groots or something like that. Yeah, let's do 4.5 Groots on this one. Really enjoyed it. It's super cool. Trent really enjoyed it too. We had a great time watching it. It's just super fun. I think it does everything you want. It has fun with the universe that they're in, has fun with Christmas. We get a little lore, we get a little back history, all kind of tightly in this nice little kind of hours episode. It's really well done, really well done, and it's like even harder seeing the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 trailer. That James Gunn is leaving the Marvel universe and going to DC. DC is getting gifted with somebody very talented, and it's gonna be cool, kind of cool. All right, our next section is light it all up. Hey man, every week we're doing some trivia, and so this one's super easy. I just described it in this episode, but what did Star Lord gift Yondu? That is the question of this week. Definitely email us at bigtlittlepodcast@gmail.com, and we will send you out a prize pack for that trivia. So there you go. Light it all up. There you go. Well, this is going to be nice and short, just like the holiday special. Thanks again, Space Wizards, Plastic Spacemen, and Rebel Princesses for listening to another episode of Big T and Little T, a Star Wars podcast. And sometimes Marvel. So that's what we're doing here today. You can find us in all the socials here. Big T Little T Podcast on Instagram, BLILT Podcast on Twitter, twitch.tv/, Big T Little T. We're there. We're trying to stream every weekend. We're trying to do that a little bit more. Hey, we got stickers. We want to hear from you. So hey, drop us a comment, tweet, rate us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Email us at bigtlittlepodcast.com. Drop us a question, what you thought about the holiday special, or some of your, we talked with Keith and Kerwin last week. Man, they were so awesome. And we got to celebrate our 3 years as we go into this next year. Can't wait to collab with them more. But hey, what are some of your holiday traditions? What do you do as a family? Something that you do cool. Love to hear them, and we love to share them on an upcoming episode of Big T and Little T. So there you have it. Another thing about this week, Willow. Haven't watched it. Need to watch it. Need to get caught up. I think by next week we'll have 3 episodes in the hopper. So maybe we'll start talking a little bit about Willow next week. Not 100% sure, but we're trying to get to it. We'll see. Always in motion is the force or the time or whatever. What is the quote? Always in motion, the future is. There you go. There it is. That's it. That's what Yoda says. Yoda also says this. Now remember, truly wonderful the mind of the child is. And may the force be with you always. Bye, 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 bye. We'll talk to you later. See you later. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.